Nice. So this was an important article that I found over the weekend I wanted to share with you guys. TSMC is one of the biggest chip manufacturers in the world. And if you haven't heard already, there's a microchip shortage that's impacting multiple industries. Technology, car manufacturing, you name it, it's probably got a chip in it. This camera, this computer, this Stream Deck, this phone. I mean, not my pen or my notebook, but almost anything else has a chip in it. And a lot of them come from this company, TSMC. So the article says why Intel and TSMC are building water-dependent chip factories in one of the driest U.S. states. I thought this was really, really interesting. It says the Grand Canyon State, which is Arizona, may not seem like the most obvious place for a chip foundry or fab, since the high-tech manufacturing plants guzzle millions of gallons of water every day. Arizona received just 13.6 inches of rainfall on average per year between 1970 and 2000, making it the fourth driest state nationwide. So if you don't like the rain, move to Arizona. Intel notes on its website that it's striving to achieve, quote, a net positive water use in Arizona, and that it has funded 15 water restoration projects that aim to benefit the state. So it says the biggest semiconductor manufacturers in the world are quickly trying to build new factories as the global chip crisis continues to wreak havoc on a plethora of industries, like I just said. Trayvon said that's why there's been a shortage of PS5s. Exactly. U.S. semiconductor giant Intel announced in March that it plans to spend $20 billion on 2 new plants in Arizona. Separately, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, TSMC, said it was going to build a $12 billion factory in Arizona, and Chief Executive C.C. Wei said Wednesday that its construction had already begun. The Grand Canyon State may not, however, seem like the most obvious place for a chip foundry, since the high-tech manufacturing plants guzzle millions of gallons of water every day. At present, in the face of climate change, Arizona is facing a deepening water crisis, and some of the state's all-important aquifers have an uncertain future. If you've ever been to Arizona, I was there recently. If you've ever been there and you look at the whole city from up on a mountain and you realize, like, when you're there, it's so dry on your mouth and your skin, you can tell it doesn't rain. And you look at all these people and the golf courses that they have to keep the grass green, and you wonder, where are they getting all this water? And a lot of it comes from aquifers that are either pumped in from the mountains or underground. So here it says, water is a key element in semiconductor manufacturing, but the infrastructure has been put in place in Arizona to ensure adequate supply to meet the industry's current needs. A key consideration of any new construction would most likely be contributions to enhancing the water supply infrastructure, like how they give, if they're going to build a plant that's going to use water, they're going to revitalize some water restoration projects, right? Beyond the water, TSMC and Intel, 2 of the biggest heavyweights in chip industry, have chosen to expand in Arizona for several other reasons. Intel has a presence in Arizona for over 40 years, and the state is home to a well-established semiconductor ecosystem. And a lot of people say Arizona is becoming a secondary tech hub, so it kind of makes sense. Intel employs over 12,000 people, that's a lot, in Arizona, and the state is home to Intel's newest manufacturing facility, Fab 42. As Intel has increased its presence, the local universities have, quote, established a strong reputation for semiconductor design courses and research, providing a highly skilled workforce. So that's interesting. The universities around there are actually jumping in and saying, hey, we'll help get people ready to work in the plants. Seismically stable. The case for Arizona doesn't stop there. Its seismic stability and relatively low risk of other natural interference are appealing to chip makers. It says here, a chip factory cannot shake, not even a microscopic amount, he said, adding that they set such factories into the bedrock to keep them still. Even a 0.5 Richter shake can ruin the entire crop of chips. That said, Intel does have some chip plants on the west coast of the U.S., that's a little contradictory, where the ground is more susceptible to earthquakes. It has a huge presence in Oregon. Hillsboro, Oregon is one of the towns that most likely, if there ever is a big earthquake and creates a tsunami, Hillsboro and a lot of Oregon could be wiped out. So that's interesting. Not that they can live like that. You know what I mean? You just got to be optimistic. With its bountiful sunshine, Arizona boasts dependable, plentiful, and green electrical energy, calling out the Salt River Project as a local power utility in the Phoenix area that caters to the big number of consumers. So it's just interesting to see that you have this Taiwanese company, coming to one of the driest places in America to build its chip plant. And I think they're going to get it done. I think the chip shortage will figure itself out. That's my personal opinion. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that we're going to continue to see the chip shortage get worse and it's going to make things more expensive because it's harder to make them? Or do you think this is a good thing for the electrical industry and the technology industry? And if anything, it's a good thing that they're doing it in America because it brings more jobs here. So those are my thoughts. I want to know what you guys think. Hit the comments and let me know.